This is Dan of Vagabond Awake.
This is 𝗂𝐎�𝐿 from Whole Venture.
And today we'd like to talk about whether Malaysia or the Philippines is better for budget retirees.
These two are a very beautiful country and they are very competitive, very low cost as well. So
yeah, this is a real shootout in our opinion. But we're going to talk about them in terms of specific categories, and we're going to say which one we think wins in each category. And those categories are food, dating, cost of living,
healthcare, online shopping, beaches,
infrastructure, travel, base, safety,
visa, and the weather.
All right, let's get after it.
But by the way, this is just our experience that we want to share, that we live in those countries.
Yeah, we've lived in both countries.
Yeah.
And it's sort of our perception. It's not by the numbers.
Yeah.
There's many agencies out there that rank countries, and I've even done a video, I'll put a link below, that talks more about the numbers. This is more about our perception of day-to-day life with our feet on the ground, living in these countries.
Yes, correct.
Okay, good. So first up, food.
Which country wins the food?
Malaysia easily wins the food category.
Why?
Malaysia is the integration of the food of Southeast Asia. You have Thai food there. You have Chinese, Malay, and Indonesian. You have Chinese food there. Everything's in Malaysia. It's the food capital of the world, I would say.
Yeah, and you also can have a Japanese food and Korean food with the local price.
Yeah, that's the other thing about Malaysia. It doesn't have that feeling like when you're eating food from other parts of South of Asia that you're paying a bonus price because it's foreign food. In Malaysia, everything is local because everyone lives in Malaysia. It's a very integrated society. So
yeah, that's true.
So you have good prices on all. Western food could be expensive, but none of the Asian food is.
Yeah.
Okay, what about dating? What do you think?
I have no comment about dating. What about you think about dating?
I think depending on what you're looking for, one or the other might win. I would say if you're a typical Westerner who's a man who's moving to Southeast Asia to look for love, definitely the Philippines would win. But if you're maybe a woman or you're someone who's looking for a specific kind of person, in Malaysia you have a higher education level, you have higher incomes, there's more of an international community there, not just Americans and some Europeans retired, but you have a very international community in Malaysia, so it might be better for some people.
I think that you want to, let me make a summary. I think people want to know which country is easy for the dating to get a girl.
To get a girl?
Yeah.
Philippines.
See, you talk so much. Actually, they want to know which one is better.
I'm trying to be inclusive. But
okay.
Cost of living.
Cost of living. Cost of living is, I would say, Philippines is a lower pricing, lower than Malaysia.
Yes, it is lower.
It's lower because of they don't have too much restaurant for you to go to eat and too much store for you to go to buying stuff, so your cost of living will be lower.
Yeah, Malaysia is a little more expensive, I would say. Maybe in the rents even a little bit. And maybe even the mama's restaurants or the local restaurants, it might be just a little more.
No, I'm not agree with that.
Don't agree with that?
The local restaurants, Malaysia and the Philippines are the same. The local restaurant
the price.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, but the rent, is more than the Philippines. Definitely.
Yeah, like an example, we typically when we're in Malaysia, we spend somewhere between like 11 and 14 or 1500 a month, depending on what city we're in and how much we're eating out. And we're in the Philippines, it's not unusual for us to spend about 100 or 200 less per month than that.
Yeah, and it depends. If you are drinking alcohol, then your cost of living definitely will be high in Malaysia, because Malaysia alcohol is more expensive than the Philippines.
Yeah, Malaysia has a large tax on alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next one is healthcare.
Healthcare. I would say Malaysia wins that, hands down.
Yes, and I was doing research online as well. Malaysia is the top 10 medical tourist country as well.
Yeah, and so it's whether you're flying to Malaysia is a place you might fly to for an operation, and you might get it for 60 or 70 or even 80% off U.S. prices. And Philippines is a place where you might fly to for medical tourism, but it's not as well known, and it's not as well respected internationally for that purpose. And also, there's more healthcare insurance available in Malaysia, and so both in terms of quality of care, availability of care, not only in the big cities, but even in the smaller communities, Malaysia is going to win that.
Yeah, but if you don't have any health issue, Philippines have no problem for you actually.
Exactly,
because
exactly.
They also have, because Philippines is a country which what I hear from our neighbor before in Philippines that we live in 𝗏𝗏𝗘, she said that Philippines is a country who export the nurse, so they also have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So they are good as well.
Right.
I can say because some of them also do their what they call go to see the dentist in Philippines as well.
Sure, I mean people do.
Yeah, but
they do get healthcare in the Philippines, and it is available in the larger cities.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
It's just they don't purposely fly to Philippines for this thing, but they will be if you're living over there. Those things is okay if you just normal health.
Yeah, exactly.
Online shopping, that is my thing, right?
Yeah, you're the online shopper.
Okay, both Malaysia and Philippines they have the Shopee and the Lazada, so you can get thing is much more cheaper than when you're in the America. Is what I can say because most of things also they are shipping from China, so the cost of everything is 50% off lower price than the American price.
So who wins online shopping?
Both is same.
Oh,
because
okay.
both also I can buy thing and I can get stuff in 3 days. I order 1 day, second day they packed, delivered, the third day I receive my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And beaches.
Beaches.
Yeah.
Oh, this one definitely Philippines win.
Yeah, the Philippines. The Philippines is 7,000 islands, and every one of those islands, not all the way around, but many parts of the island will have beaches on it, and many of them are white sand with turquoise water, and you're usually not more than an hour ferry ride from a beautiful beach.
Yeah.
Almost no matter where you are in the Philippines.
And if you love nature, you love diving, I say Philippines is the best place because the snorkeling, the diving is cheaper.
Now,
Philippines.
Yes. Malaysia also has beautiful beaches. In fact, they might be some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. They're out on Borneo. There's some islands there, just amazing white sand beaches that go on in turquoise water, incredible diving like in Sipadan and Semporna.
Yes.
But those are kind of far away unless you live in that area, and it's not that desirable an area to really live in. It's a place you go to visit, and you have to take a flight there from the major part of Malaysia. There are also the Perhentian Islands. There's Langkawi.
And
Rodan, and there's Penang, so you have beaches there, but in general the beaches are nicer and more available in the Philippines.
Yes, that is right.
Right.
Yes.
What about infrastructure?
What do you think about infrastructure?
Airports, roads, highways, parks. Which one has them more of them and in better condition?
What do you think?
Malaysia.
Yeah, we have much better. What do you think? Because you've been to, we've been in KL, which is the major
Kuala Lumpur,
the major city, so the infrastructure is easy over there. But the thing is, when you're in Malacca and Penang, what do you think?
I still think it's better.
It's still
I mean,
better?
you have those. They're big, beautiful buses, and they're clean. That are running all over the place, and so it's the infrastructure better. The roads I think are better. It's just better. It's a richer country, and so it doesn't really compare. They have the money, they have the resources, they have the desire to build the infrastructure, and they do it. The Philippines is just a poor country. It's a beautiful nature, lovely place to live, lovely people, but it doesn't have the infrastructure.
Yeah, but they are developing their everything, because what I also follow the Philippines. They also try to make their city, their country beautiful, but it just takes some time.
It takes time and money. Yeah.
Yes. Travel base.
Travel base.
Yeah.
I would have to give that to Malaysia because it's so centralized.
Yeah, if you like to take a country and then as a base and then to travel, then Malaysia is more easy for you to fly because you can fly to Singapore, Bangkok, Thailand, which is just 1 hour flight, and then you fly to Vietnam, also like 2 hour flight. Depends, you know, if you fly to Ho Chi Minh, like 2-3 hour flight, and Cambodia, and Myanmar, Sri Lanka, you know, it's just very near.
Whereas if you're in the Philippines, you know, it's an hour to even get to the mainland in any direction. You know, if you head towards Asia instead of out into the Pacific, and then you have to fly further to get to somewhere. And so Malaysia wins that. And cheaper flights, more flights.
Yeah,
and so
it's about like $50. You can have a road trip to Bangkok already. Why I know? Because Bangkok is my second home.
Exactly.
Everyone will go to Bangkok for shopping because Bangkok is more cheaper. Okay.
Safety.
Safety. So what do you think?
What do you think?
You are living in both cities. So what do you think about safety?
I would say they both feel safe to me, but Malaysia feels a little safer.
Why?
Hard to say, really.
You know why?
Why?
Because gun is illegal in Malaysia.
Okay.
They will not have a gun shop, so you will not able to buy a gun. But if you have a license, that's different. But gun is illegal in Malaysia.
Okay. And it's close. I'm not saying that the Philippines feel dangerous to me. I'm just saying that Malaysia is probably one of the safer feeling countries in Southeast Asia. It's almost antiseptic sometimes. It's not as antiseptic as Singapore, but it's a very clean, beautiful country, and it just doesn't have that feeling of desperation at all. It's a very developed country. So
okay. So the
safety,
next one is yes. Then we done safety. Down is the weather.
Weather.
How's the weather? Weather. Both country is 365 days summer day.
Yeah.
So what you need to have is just a t-shirt and a short. That's all.
Flippers or tennis shoes, and you're done.
Yeah.
Wear your sunblock.
Yeah, wear your sunblock. And sometimes have a raining season, but you know, not that much. So that is the weather in Malaysia. So
right. Now I would give a slight tip to the Philippines for weather, only because it's 7,000 islands, and each island is close to water, and so the water temperature moderates the land temperature. There's parts of Malaysia where you're getting an hour by drive from the ocean. It starts to warm up in some of those areas, and so it can be hotter in parts of Malaysia. Not that the Philippines also can be hot, but it's often a little more temperate because it's closer to the water.
Okay.
What about visa?
Visa. Oh.
Who wins the visa?
Philippines,
yeah.
Because you don't need to apply any retirement visa. You can stay there up to 36 months. Then you don't need to out from the country as a tourist visa.
Yes, and so long as you leave the country once every 36 months, you get to start the whole new process over again. Who doesn't go somewhere other than the country they're in once every 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So maybe pop over to Hong Kong or Vietnam when you're in the Philippines, and they start the whole 36-month cycle over again.
That's the best part. Malaysia is just what's about Malaysia?
Well, Malaysia depends what country you're from, but as an American, you get a 90-day tourist visa upon arrival. You can go for a retirement visa, but it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Also, the Philippines has a retirement visa. Also, I don't recommend either. I would just do a visa run every 3 months if I retired in Malaysia, because I like to travel. But it is available if you want to get it.
Yes, that's right.
But the Philippines wins the visa game.
That is it's very good thing that you no need to think, you know, that you have to go for the visa run. That's the best thing.
So if you had to spend the next 5 years in one of those countries without leaving, which one would you rather be in?
Hello, I'm from Malaysia. I was born with my country, so I definitely would choose Philippines.
And that's interesting, because in my mind, Malaysia wins in a lot of the categories, and it's a lovely place to be. But I would also pick the Philippines. I think there's something about the Philippines is sort of a little bit more fun and crazy. and a little less predictable, has a little chaos to it, which I really like when I'm traveling and exploring the world. I like the feeling in the Philippines, beautiful nature, and it just feels more like you're in touch with the ground you're on when you're in the Philippines. Malaysia is a little bit too antiseptic, a little bit like America in that way. It's too perfect.
It's city life.
It's city life. Yeah. It's organized.
It's organized.
There's very little challenge. There's very little excitement.
Yeah, it's because in Malaysia, that's all these KL, Penang, and Malacca, all these places, everyone can speak English, so it's no challenge for you.
Well, they speak English in the Philippines too, but
yeah.
But I agree about the challenge part.
Yeah,
so.
We forget about the language part, huh?
Yeah, both have language, are pretty good on English. So
yeah,
I don't think that should be distinguishing. So
yes.
So thanks for watching our videos. I said below I'll have a video where I've gone more through the numbers. You can click and read that. It'll be on the webpage. Just look for the more information link.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our video.
Have a good day.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Hey, if you liked our video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Any of that would help our business. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Click the link in the notes below this video to get a copy of this content. Plus, grab a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 13 Years. While you're there, check out our catalog of retired cheap reports all over the world and our hobby income course that we just released. Thanks so much.